Welcome to Mike's Hobby homepage. Today I'm going to do a little, I've been doing a lot of work in my hobby room here, and you can see I have some computer stuff over there. But the main focus today is going to be on the model Railroad and how I'm doing the bench work. So just before I go there, I'll talk a little bit about the hobby room. As you can see where the tiles aren't present, there used to be a wall there. I opened it up so I could run the railroad from the front to back of the house. The idea here is I'm building portable modules, not to any standard, kind of to my own standard. But I put them on wheels, so very easily can move them around and make room. So the railroad initially will be 3 modules running from the back to from that window up to the front along the stairway. I do have an issue here. I have a coat rack back there. I'm not going to be able to reach very well, but I do have this on wheels, so the modules can be moved around and adjusted easily. So that first module, I'm pretty far along. I'm about to start putting the foundation in for the engine house. You've seen that on my previous videos. And I'm started work on the second module. And the reason why I'm doing that is I have 2 sections of track here that I cannot get trains from one part to the other. So anyway, and you can see I've also started working on cabins. I built 3 cabins as a prototype. And those are typical of the kind of winter cabins that soldiers in the Civil War would build. They basically use shelter halves. In this case, there's 4 of them together. And you can see the 2 on each side. And then they build up some log walls, and that's how they make the winter shelters. I've also put in some flooring on the freight car repair shed. And the next thing up will be putting in the foundation for the engine house. So I've got plans on how to do that, but that'll come in a different video. And you can see some other locomotives here that don't really belong here, but I was using them for testing switches and track. But anyway, back to the bench work. So this is the next module I'm putting together, and you can see the construction is very simple. I just basically take some legs, build some X braces, tie them together, put some rollers on the bottom, lockable rollers, and then I basically build some braces up to the L girders. And this is kind of a very simple L girder layout. Probably wouldn't have to do it this way, but I find it's light and sturdy. I can lift up these modules are designed to be portable, and they are pretty light. So I can lift up one end of it, really easy with one arm. Well, yeah, anyway, that was sweet. Anyway, they are pretty light. So this next module is going to be on this end, and it's going to connect, allow me to get trains from each of the tracks to the other track. And as you can see, I'm not quite even. It's kind of off center, but the reason is that those beams, I don't want to put them directly under the track because that'll make it hard to put in the switches and so on. And you can see the switches go down the middle there between the L girder, and the same thing's going to happen here. So the switches will come up and the track will go down right between them. So this is just some beams across here, and this will match up here. And I'll put them in as necessary so they don't get in the way of any you know, I can adjust them fore and aft so they don't get in the way of any switch machines. And that'll go down. And the module is 4 feet wide by about 6.5 feet long. And you can see the top surface is Homosote 440 on a layer of 5 milliliter Luan underlayment. So that kind of makes it, the Homosote is very easy to put track into, put nails into, and that's why so many model railroaders like it. And so once I get this set up, I'll actually 4x8 sheets put together. So I'll cut about 1.5 feet off the end, round off the ends down here to kind of, so it doesn't have any pointy edges. And then it'll go right on top of here. And these feet down here are adjustable in height, so I can get the height of the joint between the two modules easily adjustable. And then on top of it will come about 5 inches of foam on the edges to make up the banks. That's like insulation foam, and that stuff you can either cut it or melt, you know, use a hot knife to cut it or cut it with a saw. And I scaled that. It's about, as far as I could tell from pictures, modern and original pictures, I've got the height in scale. And this is going to be a railroad cut coming down through here. And on the far plane's going to be a camp with Civil War soldiers. For lighting, I put in basically some 4-foot long shop light. I have one right now. I'll put in another one on this end and another one over on that end when I put in the third module. This third module down here will actually contain the wharfs, so that's going to be pretty cool. What else? So on the side of the machine, I have my little toggle switches to run the switches and the layout. And this is actually going to have, I'm going to do a better job of this, but it's going to have a placard. I'm kind of klutz here, aren't I? A placard up there describing what each module is. So the whole idea here is I can move it around, I can expand it, I could potentially, if I got the right kind of transportation, I could take the legs off. These legs are only bolted on with, I guess there's 4 bolts per end. So it's fairly easy to put the legs on and off. So I should be able to move it fairly easily. So that's kind of what's going on with this. And like I said, I'm making some progress. I've got to do a period type water tower, but I've got something there for now. And let's see what else. Oh, so anyway, just on the wall here, I put up my map. There's a lot of reflections here, but anyway, so this part I'm modeling, basically, this is going to be the new section I'm adding on. This is the current section, and then the wharf will be right here, right down there, and that'll come right to here, basically to the end of the stairs here. So I'm still working on it. I got to redo the floor. I mean, I'm not done with this room by any means, but this tile is like 30 years old, this cheap tile. I'm going to dig that up at some point and put in a decent floor. But basically, I've got some room to work now that I took out that wall. And I got some better lighting. I think it's coming along.